Well, hey folks, welcome back to Make It Good. I'm Jason. Today we're going to be working on paneling the interior of the 10 by 20 tiny workshop. If you saw the last episode, I put up all the insulation in the ceiling and the walls, and in this episode I'm going to be using 3/8 inch plywood to cover it all up and get this thing a little more finished looking. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so you know when I post new videos. And let's go ahead and get started. I've got a lot of plans for this workshop, and I'm really itching to get in here and do some work other than just building the things. So we'll get started on the paneling right now. All right, it's the next day. I got all of the plywood out of the truck. Did a little calculation. It was over 900 pounds just of plywood itself to haul over here. So, and I've got a kind of a narrow gate back into my backyard, so I had to hand carry each piece, which was fun. So today I'm going to start actually putting the stuff up. Yesterday I kind of did some kind of trim work and just some things that needed to be done and getting some materials out of the way so that I can kind of focus on this. So I will be working on putting the ceiling paneling up first and then the walls, and taking my time with it. There's going to be a lot of cutting around fixtures and everything, so I'll just take my time with it, do it as I can, and hope you'll follow along. Well, it's the next morning, and all I'll say is this is slow going work. Working over my head, trying to be really careful with the measurements, and wanting it to look good. Since I'm going to be doing this as paneling and it's going to be everything exposed, I'm making measurements so that all my screws are nice and even. Probably a little bit more than I should be doing or have to be doing, but it is what it is, how I want to do it, but it is going slow. So I got 6 panels up yesterday. Today I'm going to start at it again and see how many I can get done. Hopefully I can start working on the walls. Okay, I got the ceiling done. Looks real good. I'm pleased with it. Now I'm going to get started on the walls. It's going to be a lot more panels for that, but it should be a lot easier because I'm not going to be working over my head. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, so it took all day yesterday, but I got one full wall done, and it looks really good. This is slow going. Again, it's a lot of measuring because I'm not doing any kind of floating or taping or wanting to do any kind of repair work. I'm being very, very careful on my measuring and cutting so that all my outlets and switches and everything, it's a measure 3 times, cut once kind of situation, so everything looks nice once everything's in. It really is paying off. So today I'm going to be just working on more paneling. I'm going to put them around the door here, this area over here, and then start down the opposite wall and just see how far I get. We'll get started right now. Well, even with all the measuring and even writing down all my measurements, mistakes are made. I measured from the wrong end, and as you can see, I miscut. Luckily, this is kind of behind this door. I can just put another piece of wood to fill this in because I'm kind of limited on the number of sheets of plywood I have. So, yeah, just have to be more careful next time and really make sure I know where I'm cutting as well as where I'm measuring. So, fun times. right, I got these walls put up. Had to work a little after dark, but that was okay. I was glad to get this done. The only thing I have left to do are these gable ends up here, and I can knock that out tomorrow. Really pleased with how this is looking. Some nice tight tolerances here, but with still a little bit of room to move for the shift of the building. So I think it's going to work really well. I've gone through a whole lot of screws in all of this, but man, I think it looks great, and I'm really pleased with the work I've gotten done. So we're going to finish this out tomorrow. Stick around. Okay, the shop is fully paneled, and I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks pretty darn good. I had picked up the Win track saw for doing projects kind of like this, where I need to make good, accurate, straight cuts. It had good reviews on it, even though it was a little cheaper than some of the other products. And I think it performed really well for doing this kind of work. I had to make a lot of these really precise cuts just to get these panels to go together well, especially these angled cuts that I wanted to put on the gables, and it worked fabulously for that. I paired that with the PowerTech tracks per recommendation. I got 2 of those so I can put them together and do those full 8-foot lengths, and everything worked out really well. So I'm looking forward to using that more, and I'm probably going to do a product review on that in the future. But appreciate you sticking around for this part of the video. If you like what you saw today, give me a thumbs up. If you do want to see more videos, subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, hit that notification button so you know when I post new videos. I appreciate each and every one of you following along. Y'all get out there and make it good. Thanks a lot.